Welcome to Founders Live and Founders Live Conversations.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
So I'm Albano Scavo, the CPO and co-founder of Dresso. A little bit of my background. So as you mentioned before, I used to live in San Francisco. I started as a software engineer and then I moved into product. We started here in Florence actually when there was basically no startup ecosystem in 2011. So we decided it was a dream for us to move to the Bay Area, so to meet like other startups in Silicon Valley, and also most of our customers were based in the US. So we decided to take a leap and try the adventure in the Silicon Valley. It went very well. It was an amazing journey, and we ended up being acquired by Samba TV, another startup in San Francisco, was much bigger than us at the time, of course. And after that, I decided to come back to Italy to try to bring what I've learned there here and replicate it for myself. So instead of being just an employee, my dream was always to build startups on my own. And so I felt like I was ready, and it was very important for me to do something, to create something, not only as a product manager or a developer in the past, but really create a company and have our own company culture that I brought. I've merged a lot of things that I've learned in Silicon Valley here in Italy, like for our team and the way we work. So it was something that was not usual coming from Italy to work in the same way, because we have more, the background is a little bit more traditional. They say all the new wave of company culture is something that is arriving now in Italy, but things that were happening in the Bay Area like 15 years ago are kind of happening now.
Yeah, that's so interesting, and I have a few questions to ask on that. But what I want to start with is actually around what does entrepreneurship mean to you? Like what we could all have jobs and or work for a bigger corporation, but what does entrepreneurship really represent in your life?
So for me, every time I take on a problem, it's what keeps me up at night. So I always say, like, if it has to keep me up at night, at least I want to do it for myself, and of course take the risk, have some skin in the game. It's not that you cannot find project to follow and fall in love with, but I always felt like creating my own was a dream of mine, and I wanted to be the first one saying, creating something for other people and saying, like, follow me if you believe in that, and I'll be in charge of taking most of the risk, let's say. It's something that I think you really have to feel like you want to do the entrepreneur, because of course the stress amount is much more, it's something that I cannot really explain. It's probably part of myself that I wanted to be part of the change in Italy, and also the creator of something, not just being involved in the process.
Well, speak a little bit more about creating that change in Italy, and you also mentioned your experience with your experience in the Bay Area and in San Francisco, and yet now you're back here in Italy, and it is a different culture. So talk about entrepreneurship in Italy and then creating that change that you want to see.
So in Italy, said that the startup culture is something that is growing. We come from a past where usually people invested in real estate or something that was very stable. So it's still not very easy to find investors that invest in early stage startups. The concept of taking the risk and splitting it into many startups to reduce the risk in the same way you apply to the startup itself. It's something that is not very common. So they think, I invest in only one startup and it doesn't have to fail. So it has to be a safe investment, which is, of course, not what a startup is.
Yeah.
So in that sense, things are starting to change right now, but it's still hard to raise money. Pre-revenue, it's super difficult. It's not like in the Bay Area where maybe you have a good team, they invest in the team, you have the idea, it's kind of good, but they know that the most important thing is the execution. So they know that the team can execute the idea and like evolve it to the next step. And so you can get a pre-seed, a decent pre-seed, or even like a seed round. Here already, like in the pre-seed, sometimes you like struggle with the fact that they say, do you have revenues? How much do you have? And maybe you're not even there, like you just have an MVP.
Yeah.
You don't even have a product yet. So in this sense, it's changing a lot. The ecosystem is growing. There are more and more players involved. Also, Bianca is doing a great job with the acceleration program. So most of the startups are early stage, and they help them kick off their products, or they have a product and they help them just grow. It was something that was not like at a good stage 10 years ago. So when we left Italy, not as far as I know, there was basically no acceleration program. You had to do everything by yourself. So we raised some money, but it was mostly like family and friends, and previous investors that worked with us. So it was not really like a place where you can start from zero, like you're right out of college and you found some investors right away. So it was like probably 10 times harder, even if the Bay Area is more competitive, because you get way more entrepreneurs, way more great startups and everything. But at least you have an ecosystem that is ready to have you on board in that league, let's say.
Yeah.
Here we had to, at the beginning, we had to create the league before even playing the game. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that experience. And, obviously you are a part of, creating this change, and, you hear it, Nana, Bianca, and the part of the community, and obviously a leader and a founder here. So let's talk about, what you're building. And, I always like to start with the solution, or the problem actually. So what did you see in the world that you really wanted to change?
So I'll start from the industry where we started from. So it's the fashion industry. Right now, it's the second by pollution in the world. So, and the main reason is that, and now all the companies, not all the companies, but many companies are producing a low quality product that has to have a low price, and they don't care about how much they last and what's the impact of producing them. And so we arrived at the point that we really need a change in the direction of creating better products with a larger lifespan. The problem is that it's not, of course, profitable for the company, so they prefer to sell more.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a problem of if we push like secondhand, which is a solution, brands won't like that, because like they say we don't make money out of that. So we try to figure out a solution for this, and also to simplify the process for people to buy something and resell it, not immediately, but when they want to get rid of the product. So we built this platform where we try to connect brands and people, so that when you purchase something from a brand, from a marketplace, or from us, so we also have our own marketplace running on our technology, you don't just buy the product and that's it. So you have in your profile, you have an order. I order these pants, and that's it. So you have now a product that we track on blockchain. So we create the token for you, and so when you want to resell it, you immediately can resell it through either the brand platform or our platform. So you don't have to get another application, use another service where you have to take picture of your product. We already know all the information of that product. They create the token, so it's transparent for both the brand or the marketplace, whoever is sold the product, and the people involved in the process. And when they exchange this product, so we track the life cycle of the product. No one is doing this. So people are tracking everything that happens up until it gets sold to the first person, and then that's it. So we want to track the rest of the life cycle, that we can give some value to the brand or the retailer, whoever is leading the operation. And so we give back a commission to them. We allow them to get in touch with the customers. So I purchase something, you purchase it from me. Then in the secondhand market, they have no idea who you are. So we want to kind of allow them to get in touch with all the potential customers and whoever has touched their product, basically owned their product in the lifetime.
And so, is this available for any of the large, clothing brands around the world? Can they, for instance, just throwing it out there, but Gucci or whatever, like, can they be able to start working with you in your platform, or like talk about like how brands would actually utilize your system?
So there are two options. So we have our own application where we use our technology, and you can just plug in your product feed, and we take care of the rest. So we use our community to exchange products and to introduce your new products and give you commission based on the transaction of the secondary market. Or it's something that we are kicking off right now. So we already have signed a partnership with a large brand here in Italy. We cannot disclose it yet, but basically with them, what we'll do is that instead of bringing them into our platform, they wanted to have this, they want to white label the technology, so they will plug it into their website.
Yeah.
So there will be a dedicated page, which is basically our web app running in the background, where people can resell the items that they just purchased from the brand itself. So it's a way to help the brand take advantage of the second-hand market without taking any additional business risk, because we have seen already what happened in the past. And also here in Italy, we had a case right now of a company that was mostly handling the second-hand products for other brands. And of course, it's an additional risk. So it's not really something that you can do without thinking about it too much, like partnership with us. So we take care of this. If you say, okay, it's not working, but at least we can prove that it's going to work, and you don't have to take any huge risk like repurchasing €1 million of your own products to resell it in the second-hand market. So
well, that's good. And so interesting, and obviously it is a big problem globally when you look at the amount of just the effect on our earth and the effect on just the disposal of all these things. Like when you look at what's happening with like the TikTok shop, people shopping on there, and then all the things that are being sold on there, and people are wearing it for 1 or 2 times and they're throwing it out. And where does it go? Well, somehow it goes to a landfill, or it like gets into our ocean, or all this stuff, right? This is just bad. So this is a very needed thing. Talk about where you and the team see this going over the next 5 to 10 years, of how you say creating change here in Italy, but I can see this changing a lot more around the world. So like how would you want to see this expanding and growing?
So we started from the fashion industry, as I said, because mostly my other partners, so the other co-founders of the company, I have a huge tech background. So I never actually worked in fashion, but I was always passionate about like solving some problem about sustainability. And then they both come from the fashion industry, like both entrepreneurs in the fashion industry producing like physical products. And so we started from fashion because it was something that was close to us and we could understand easily, and all the dynamics. But the goal is to replicate it for any second-hand market. So devices have a huge second-hand market. Sportswear has also all the equipment, sports equipment has a huge second-hand market. So anything that basically can be easily resold inside the brand's platforms and without taking risk, and let's say reducing the impact that each product has, that's where we're gonna go. So basically any industry will be good to solve this pollution problem that we have right now, which is not only fashion, but fashion is one of the top.
I mean, it's a very, very big problem. And when you look at I think the plastic water bottles, Like I've traveled all over the world, and I started to really see this when I was in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia specifically, is a huge problem.
Yeah.
And it's because they're serving, I mean, you sit down for lunch and they bring all these water bottles. Just this is at your table, there's like 6 or 8 or 10 of these water bottles. And then you start doing mental math on that's just the restaurant, the amount of water bottles and plastic. And so, it concerns me big time of what's happening and from a pollution and that's water bottles, and you're talking about fashion, the disposable, people are just throwing out these clothes, or even if it goes into second hand, at some point, the amount of new clothes is being literally every day from Shine and all that, like where is this all going to go? And so I think that we need more leaders and examples in companies like yours that say, hey, we're bringing the solution. This is how it's tracked. This is how you're influencing the world to be able to, got to clean it up.
Yeah.
We got to clean it up. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Where can people find more information on, and maybe, hey, if there's companies that are wanting to work with you right now, what's that process of, that they can find more information and maybe reach out?
Yeah, if they want to reach out to us, they can just write to us on our website or like info@dresso.com. So depending on the partnership they want, we have the right person answering to them. And for people that want to know more, right now they can check out our website, even though there we don't have the full product yet. So we're still releasing it, all the features. We're mostly right now the complete process, like the complete product is on iOS here in Italy. We're looking forward to develop also complete the web app and launch globally. Basically, we'll focus mostly on Europe for the time being because it's easier for us, of course. But yeah, of course, the goal will be to then not move the company to the US, but like to reach the US market, because it's not only the biggest one, it's also the fastest, let's say, in adapting to new technologies. You can see also Depop, the second-hand platform for fashion as well. So the main market was UK for them, but as soon as they reach US, they immediately switch to main market is US now.
Yeah.
So we know, like I've been there, so I know that people adapt very quickly to change, and so it's
good. Well, we will look for you there for sure. Kind of finishing on a note around advice to other founders. You've been, look, you've had some experiences now. You've had a previous experience and experienced an acquisition, an exit in that way with what you were doing previously. And let's go with 2 main, kind of pieces of advice that you would share with early stage founders that, hey, this might be their first startup. They might be freaking out and scared, what do I do now? Or what's my next step? So share with us just a few thoughts that you would maybe give tips to early stage founders.
So for sure, the first one that comes to my mind is that I see it every time is that don't be afraid of thinking that you don't know what you're doing, because nobody does at the beginning. So it's always a learning process. Even if you did it multiple times, there is always a point in where you say, like, what am I doing? So that's it's really get out of your head, because it really slows things down when you start overthinking. But also, same thing, don't take it too lightly. So do your research, try to take like the approach, the Silicon Valley approach, fail fast. Yeah. So if you really have to experiment something, be quick in trying things out. Don't think that you have a solution before someone tells you that that's the solution. And so build something that you can quickly understand where it's going and adapt to it. And don't think don't fall in love with your idea. Fall in love with the with the solution, because the problem also that I've seen very often is that they fall in love with their idea and they like focus on that even when they see that they're crashing into a wall. They just say like, I want to crash into a wall with my car instead of taking another direction. So
you got to turn it, everyone. You got to turn it. And those are great, and I appreciate that. And just that, like, it is really an actual, like, and this is a message to all of you out there, is absolutely do not think your idea is this big, it's the idea, this is the best thing in the world. It's really about looking at that problem and then figuring out those solutions and circling around ways that you can achieve those, right? That's what it is. And so I think that that's great advice. And obviously you spent some time in the Bay Area, plus you now are here, and I'm sure you're probably talking with other founders and sharing this advice. So well, congrats, and it's so nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And thank you for the Italian experience here. The culture and the hospitality has been amazing. So I just want to thank you and Nana Bianca for everything as well.
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right.
Good.
We are good. Nice job. Yeah.